What's up, guys? It's me, Jammin' Music Man, and welcome to my special new album review video where today I'm going to be reviewing Talking Heads' Remain in Light album, where I'm going to be reviewing the track listings, the feel of the album, and whether or not I recommend you picking it up or not. But first off, let's talk about what was going on with the Talking Heads at the release of this album in 1980. Well, of course, Talking Heads were one of those leading punk new wave bands that came out of CBGB's in the mid-1970s, and this was actually their fourth studio album, and the album previous to this one was 1979's Fear of Music, which I did an album review here on my channel a couple of videos back if you want to check it out. But during the recording process of this album, they teamed up with the legendary producer Brian Eno, who helped produce David Bowie's Berlin Trilogy, and he played in the legendary glam band Roxy Music. So pretty much by this point in time with Eno in his career, he was pretty much strictly recording and help producing music. But you know, the feel of this album, this album came out in 1980, so we're talking about 1 year before MTV, and we're kind of in the middle of disco and punk and new wave. We're really becoming unpopular with the mainstream public. But the feel of this album, like I said, you get great dance tracks and you get an eclectic mix of new wave, disco, R&B, funk type music, and that's the feel of this album. But let's talk about the track listings. You get 8 tracks in all on this album. Number 1 is Born Under Punches, The Heat Goes On. Great dance track. The feel of the song is a mix between funk, R&B, new wave, and it also sounds like during the process, or during the song itself, it's like the beat is almost looped and the guitar parts are looped. And what I mean by loop is when you record like a drum beat or a guitar effect and you just pretty much repeat that beat or that guitar rhythm guitar or guitar lick over and over. And I also read in articles that Brian Eno helped introduce loop effects and sampling effects to the band, which was really an unheard of thing back in 1980. But track 1, Born Under Punches, The Heat Goes On, great dance track. Number 2, another great dance track is Cross-Eyed and Painless. And during this song you hear David Byrne, one of his lyrics where he's almost rapping, where he says facts are simple and facts are straight. I've also read where the lines where he's saying the facts are simple, the facts are straight, that he was influenced by early 80s hip-hop music at that time, like Kurtis Blow. But number 2, Cross-Eyed and Painless, another great dance track. Number 3, another great dance track, that's The Great Curve. And I love this song, and I love the solo during this because it almost sounds like Eddie Van Halen's playing. You got to check it out. The Great Curve, also another great dance track. But number 4 is Once in a Lifetime. Who hasn't heard Once in a Lifetime? You hear it in movies, TV shows, and commercials. And it's almost during the song like David Byrne is almost talking like a preacher, and great song. And the music video for Once in a Lifetime, classic early 80s MTV music video, which the album and the song predated MTV by 1 year. But great track. And another memory for me with Once in a Lifetime is the W movie that came out in 2008. The movie where they were basically doing like a biopic of George W. Bush. Well, during the trailers and the commercials, you can hear Once in a Lifetime playing in the background. And I've also read where Once in a Lifetime it's almost like a jab at the excess of 80s greed, because back in the 80s, I mean, there was money and cocaine and people were living like rock stars, unlike today, but that's a whole different story. But Once in a Lifetime, track number 4, classic track. Number 5, Houses in Motion. Number 6 is Seen and Not Seen, and tracks number 7 and number 8 are pretty much the darker songs of this album. Number 7 is Listening Wind, great dark synthesized track, and number 8 is pretty much the darkest song on this album, and that's the Overload, which is a 6-minute track. But all in all, you get 8 tracks in all. Great mix. Many people consider this like one of the best albums of the 1980s, one of the best albums of all time, and probably Talking Heads' best album they ever did. But hey, that's up for you to decide. But I give this album right here 5 stars. I picked this album up for $4.99 at my nearest Barnes & Noble. So, you guys, you need to check out Barnes & Noble. They got great classic albums, unlike Walmart and Best Buy. So, hey, go to your local Barnes & Nobles and see what classic albums you can find for $4.99. But, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Once again, I'm Jammin' Music Man, and I will see you guys next time.